Do you think Florida has any chance today?
It's actually going to be a good game, but it's about the dogs.
Well, if you're right here watching, Mom, give me the dogs, Mama. Give me the dogs! Ooh, 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 ooh.
How do you feel about Georgia fans barking all the time?
Georgia fans, them all. We're gonna like show up and we're gonna them up. Not really. I'm just. It's for the spirit. I love my Georgia fans. I'm all about like collegiality, being nice, being respectful of the other team. You know, it's all for fun. But at the same time, the dogs, Georgia fans, go Gators! There ain't nothing finer in the land. Ain't nothing finer in the land than a drunk, obnoxious Georgia fan. Than a drunk, obnoxious Georgia fan. Go dogs! Go dogs! Go dogs! Go dogs! Go! Let's go Gators!
Go Florida, baby! Come on, Gator!
We found a Georgia Southern fan here.
How about Hail Southern? How y'all doing? I'm Cole Ewan. Nice to meet y'all. Eagles, we already got our first win of the week, so now the Dogs are about to come in and take down the Gators. So I'm about to go 2 for 2. The parlays are going to hit right now. That's why you always bet on the Dogs.
None of those dogs today.
If you want to
Run the damn ball, Florida Gators. Run the damn ball. Merch to Beershaw. It's a touchdown, Florida Gators.
If you want to make money, you'll bet on the Dogs, though.
Broke down. You're not even. Yeah, look at his shirt. He's not even wearing a dog shirt. That's Georgia Southern. Who even hell goes to Georgia Southern? I love the Gators. Put it on the Gators, baby. Tell your mother. Put the mortgage on the Gators.
This is far and away the best tailgating environment I've ever been in. But I will say that Florida fans are more drunk by like a mile. I don't know if it's because they're more fun or it's because they're probably going to lose by more, but they are way more drunk. I'll say it, way more friendly. They've given us so much free stuff. Just a little free stuff from Georgia fans, but so much free stuff from Florida. And that's what this whole thing is about. And also doing my job properly.
The bark is limited because my voice is going to go. I've been in St. Simon's, haven't been sober since 12 o'clock on Thursday. Just rolling right on in.
Michigan, #1, Michigan. Woo!
Nice cargo pants. Nice cargo pants.
You just told me that today is your first ever American football game.
Oh, wow, yeah, I've just flown in from London into Atlanta and then 4 hours all the way down here. Never been to an American football match. Have some friends from here, which is great, who always said you've got to come down. Apparently I'm supporting these guys, so go Dogs! Is that the thing?
Yeah. Don't forget, the Big Ten still makes more money than them. And that's what really matters at the end of the day. Not wins or losses or championships, but money. Big Ten.
If you pull up and you want to show up, go Dogs. Let's go. Let's go.
T-Bone over here with the camera.
Hey, what channel is this? Jan, Sean, got that? Go Dogs.
Wait, what?
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs. Do you watch the Dan Le Batard Show with Stugotz?
No, ma'am, I don't even know what you just said.
Okay, fair enough. Do you watch the Dan Le Batard Show with Stugotz?
No, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't. So.
Will you now?
No, but let me get it go. No, sing 'em.
Thank y'all. Go Dogs.
Do you watch the Dan Le Batard Show with Stugotz?
Absolutely not.
Can you look at the microphone?
Absolutely not.
All right,
What should I do?
watch the show.
What show is it on?
It's the Dan Le Batard Show with Stugotz.
Tupac?
Yeah, with Tupac on the DraftKings Network.
I got you. All right. So
Wait, okay, so what is the name of the show?
Tupac Network. Watch it live now.
100%. Yeah.
Duval.
There is no way that you didn't get annoyed with all of that barking in about 9 minutes in.
It got old very fast. I think one of the moments so the game obviously was a blowout. By like the third quarter, I'm just like watching the crowd, and there's nothing that gives me the ick like seeing a grown man just start barking at someone. It was such an uncomfortable experience.
Where are you headed next? Where are some of the places that you're excited about?
That is a great question. We would like to go to Alabama. We don't know if we are going to go to Alabama. And our other options this weekend are Bedlam, Oklahoma State. Should be really fun. Or if we're feeling really weird and crazy and gross, Iowa Northwestern. Wow. Stugotz is going.
I am going to that game against my will. But I am trying to help Lucy, and Dan, you should partake. I am trying to help Lucy get to the Alabama game. I put in a call to A.J. McCarron. I mean, how about that? Wow. Anything you want to do? Mark Ingram?
I've already asked John Skipper to see if he can get her on the Alabama field. Wow. But Alabama, I probably don't need to tell you, they are run like a professional franchise.
Right.
And they are something different from your average college franchise. So I'm guessing it's pretty hard to get on the field there.
Yeah, I'm not feeling super optimistic about it. Oklahoma State should be really, really fun. Iowa Northwestern, very distant third option. Very distant third option.
Mike Ryan has been making fun of Pat Riley saying that Tyler Herro was never up for trade, and I'm just wondering which is the bigger lie. Pat Riley saying Tyler Herro was never up for trade, or Robert Salah saying, I've got unwavering faith in the Jets' offense.
Oh, wow.
He did say that.
He did. He said,
unwavering.
I don't know why you wouldn't just go faith there. Faith.
Unwavering.
Or I've got wavering faith.
I've got wavering faith. Faith that comes and goes, but it is not consistent. And I saw... And Taylor was telling me there's a new 33-year-old up-and-comer in the New York market at WFAN who's trying to do the Stugotz thing in his early 30s. Sean Morash has ripped Zach Wilson for going somewhere with his girlfriend, going to Utah with his girlfriend on the bye week. He has...
That's classic WFAN.
He has said he has ripped him for going apple picking. And said that he needs to, quote, stay back and grind.
But his coach has unwavering confidence in the offense.
Doesn't need to grind. Needs to pick apples.
So I'm under the understanding that this isn't an on-air talent. It's a producer that has become this lightning rod and has carved out a niche for himself. And Taylor pulled me aside, I guess in a similar vein. He's dressed as the Undertaker today, and he's like, hey, Mike, I've got Carolina observations.
Oh, wow.
Now, I am familiar with Taylor's Carolina observations because they happened last week. Mm-hmm. And I did find the heart to tell him I'm not exactly sure if that's a Dan benchmark, Taylor.
He came in here and told me the same thing.
I told him last week.
He came in and told me that he was going to do that. And what would be the Carolina observations? That they allowed 22 points in the fourth quarter to Georgia Tech?
Did you think he was serious when he told you?
You seemed to laugh like he was kidding. Yeah.
No, I wasn't sure. I thought he was offering me a bit. I laughed. It was a genuine laugh at the idea that would ever be on our show.
Well, Stugotz made promises while you were gone, is the issue.
It was on the show last week.
He did it last week, and Stugotz said every week, buddy.
Stugotz likes...
That was good. He did a good job. I mean...
Stugotz likes when other people do the work for him.
He also likes promising things that other people then have to say no to, and then he's not the bad guy.
Well, he did them. I mean...
Yeah, but you promised that he would do them this week.
If it were up to me, he would do them again this week, but it's not. It's up to Dano. I mean, Dan wants to break the kid's heart. That's up to him. I'm not going to do it. I mean, Taylor's an up-and-comer. He is. Just trying to make his name in the business with Carolina observations. I mean...
Stugotz.
We're not going to do them.
Is he practicing his observations right now?
He takes them very seriously.
Looks like Slash.
Stugotz, everybody in video and everyone on the other side of this door did a much better job on Halloween stuff than our crew of underachievers.
There's Kylo Ren out there.
Quasi.
Yeah. Quasi,
no one did better than Babushka the Lion.
S sound, not
it's
a Z.
Quasi a Halloween costume.
No, quasi with an S sound, not
Quasi.
a Z.
Exactly. It's a fine.
Billy, Stugotz texted me that he spent 40 minutes talking to Keyshawn Johnson at the barber shop. Where is that going?
Billy enjoyed it. I got to be Billy.
He doesn't.
honest.
He doesn't look like he enjoyed
the conversation. He did. I know he did.
The problem with my life is so planning isn't a strength here, right? In terms of, or following a plan, I should say, isn't a strength here. So I kind of have to take things that Stugotz tells me with a grain of salt. So when he tells me Keyshawn's going to be on, and then Keyshawn isn't on, and then it was a thing like, oh no, he thought it was at 5:30. You have to understand that I went into yesterday thinking Keyshawn will not be on today, right? But I still have to prepare as though Keyshawn's going to be on. And then when we get to 2:30, which is when Keyshawn was supposed to be on, and Stugotz tells me Keyshawn's getting a haircut now, I assume Stugotz never spoke to Keyshawn, and he just was hoping that at the last minute he'd come and be on, right? So then when he tells me Keyshawn's going to be on at 3 today, I said, this is the third time I have time to go to Home Depot. I'm not going to wait around for this. So long story short, we eventually get to Keyshawn, and he's in a barber's chair. Which I'm like, Stugotz, this is why? Like, no, like, why are we doing this?
Because I wanted to.
I know, because you wanted to is the answer, but he wanted to do it from the barber's chair because he thought it'd be funny. And then what ends up happening is it ends up working out. So no lesson is ever learned. So it ends up working out. We do like 40 minutes with Keyshawn Johnson, which was really good. It was a good 40 minutes. And now we're kind of in a power struggle where I say we should put this on Stupodity so I could put the whole 40 minutes, and Stugotz wants to put it on God Bless Football because God Bless Football, truth be told, gets some better downloads than Stupodity does.
Yes.
But God Bless Football, at the same time, I'm going to have to cut 40 minutes of Keyshawn into 12 minutes. So we're going to lose 28 minutes of Keyshawn, which is the battle that I'm constantly in with Stugotz, where he wants to do 40 minutes for every guest, and they can only really be like 12 for God Bless Football. So I don't know where it's going to go. I still want to put it as Stupodity because I feel like then we can air the whole thing.
Go for it, Billy.
Yeah, but you want it in God Bless Football so more people hear it.
I want you to be happy. You do with it what you want.
I
okay?
know, but but this is the other part about this. We reach this part of the conversation, and then 2 hours from now, I'll get a call from you like, I was really thinking it'll be better in God Bless Football.
I got to stop thinking. I have to stop thinking.
That's the move. Is it's always like whatever you think is best, and I know we're just going to revert back to what you thought was best.
That is so true.
Damn,
like he just says things into a microphone, and they're all lies. Happy to be joined, as always, on Tuesdays, or I should say often, when he doesn't have an emergency giraffe procedure or an orangutan doesn't need surgery. Ron Magill with us. What are you making faces about, Ron?
Well, because I'm leaving right here. I just left the surgery. We're doing this cool surgery on a hornbill, a greater Indian hornbill. Have Stugotz look it up. It's kind of like the Eastern Hemisphere version of a toucan, but much bigger. And this hornbill, she's got cancer in her casque, in her bill. And they're taking the cancer out, and they used a 3D printer to make a false bill that they're going to put on there surgically. So as soon as I leave here, I'm going to go over there to photograph that. This is really cool stuff, man.
What do you regard as the coolest medical procedure that you have seen or been most awed by?
This could be it. I mean, I've been fortunate to watch a couple of cesarean sections. When you pull that baby out for the first time, you see it take its breath on a surgery table like that. That's kind of moving. But to see, we also made a prosthetic leg for a secretary bird, which was really pretty cool. But to use this, what they did was they put this hornbill through a CT scanner, made a visual print of it, measurements of the bill, and then they had a 3D printer make this plastic kind of, appendage that's going to go onto this bill to replace the part that's taken out from cancer. Now, I don't know if it's going to work, but it's really a cool approach to help save this bird. So I'm going to get right back to that surgery as soon as I'm done with you guys.
What is the necessity of that part of the bill?
Well, basically, it's an announcement for the bird. They like toucans. They use them to kind of announce to each other their availability, that they're there. But they also can resonate sound in it. They make a honking sound, and that honking sound inside the bill, it kind of resonates. It makes it even louder.
Can you tell us, Ron, what it is that you're doing this Saturday and why it's important that people go out there? I know that we've talked about it some around here, but finally on Saturday it is here. And if people want to support the right things that Ron Magill is about, they can help do so on Saturday. Tell them where it is that you're going to be gathering, and I'm going to see if I can get some people from the show out there.
That'd be great. 10 a.m. Saturday on the northeast parking lot of Zoo Miami. There's going to be a rally here, and it's going to be basically to voice our opposition to developing a water park on this property, which is critical habitat for species. These are all endangered species that have been discovered since people voted for the water park way back in 2006. We've learned so much, and we're trying to get the commissioners to understand there's a big vote on December 12th. So we're all coming out here. I'm telling you, there are going to be hundreds, if not more than 1,000 people joining me and other key people out here. We're going to do a release of a hawk. We're going to do a release of some butterflies. But more importantly, we're going to walk up and down the pathway into Zoo Miami, demonstrating how we want to protect this, because it's a home for critically endangered species. It's critically endangered habitat. Guys, enough with the development. Listen, I'm not one of these extremists. You know, if there's a roach in my house, I kill it. But we've got to be able to protect this critical habitat. It's the most critically endangered habitat in the state of Florida. The largest tract outside of Everglades National Park is right here at Zoo Miami. We cannot build a water park on it. The traffic already is ridiculous. What they'll do to damage this environment and the creatures that live in it is horrific. So please come out, stand with us, and let the people know, especially the commissioners, that we don't want this here. So on December 12th, they vote no, and they don't allow it to be built here.
Ron, is this replacing the one that you had announced is on Black Friday, or is this in addition to that?
Yes, this is exactly. Yes, the one that was originally going to be Black Friday, we wanted to do it earlier. We wanted to do it earlier so we can get more legs out of it, you know, leading up to December 12th. And I think it's going to be, I tell you, I think this is going to be historic, folks. I think it's going to be the first time in my over 40 years working at the zoo that the commission makes a vote in favor of the environment over development. This is their chance. It's a brand new commission. These are all good commissioners, generally speaking. And I think they want to set a tone. They want to let people know, listen, we've got to put a halt. We got to put some brakes on this development, because enough is enough, guys. We got to protect this for our future generations. That old saying, we've not inherited this earth from our parents. We're borrowing it from our children.
I wanted to get to a story with you that is old that came across my social media this week. In 1996, an unidentified 8-year-old boy slipped away from his mother, climbed over a barrier, and fell into the gorilla enclosure. Due to the 20-foot fall, the boy broke his hand and suffered a deep laceration to his face. 7 gorillas inhabited the enclosure. Gorillas are known to be fiercely territorial animals. They will fight to the death to defend their families. However, one of the gorillas went over, cradled the boy in her arms, and all while her own young child was on her back. She then went to the edge of the enclosure and waited for the zookeepers to come and collect the child, and handed the child over peacefully before returning to the rest of the gorillas. What do you make of that behavior, Ron?
Well, I think that happened at the Oklahoma City Zoo, if I'm not incorrect. And it's a behavior that's typical of female gorillas, especially. That was a female gorilla, obviously a fairly new mother. There is an instinct there. I believe that animals can read things, that they sense things. And I believe that gorilla knew that that child needed help, and the only help that could be afforded to it would be getting it to a zookeeper. That gorilla knew that keepers had taken care of her baby, and that was an outlet, that was a conduit to help this child that had fallen in and hurt himself. So it's another reflection on how animals do have a sixth sense. Gorillas can be territorial, but it's male gorillas that are territorial against other male gorillas. They're not necessarily territorial against non-specific other animals. So, gorillas are generally known as the gentle giant. They're not the King Kong monsters that movies and other things make them out to be. And this is a perfect reflection of how animals can sense, first of all, that it was a child, and second of all, that it needed help, and the way to get it help was to get it to a zookeeper. I think it's a wonderful, wonderful example of this unwritten bond between people and animals.
Ron, a helicopter flying low over a crocodile farm in Queensland, Australia, created noise and vibration that caused a huge sex frenzy and orgy among the crocodiles. What the hell was going on there?
Well, you know what happens, and you go down to the Everglades around March and April. This is the breeding season when the males are out there, and what they do, the males bellow. All crocodilians, the males make this bellowing sound, and if they hear something that sounds like a bellow, if you go down to, let's say, Everglades Alligator Farm down there in Homestead, and you hear a plane going over or a lawnmower starting, all of a sudden all the male crocodiles start going, because they think it's bellowing. So it's a competition. So that starts, and the bellowing is kind of like the foreplay. Okay, that gets the females like, hey, baby, how you doing? Hey, baby. And they start that up, and it becomes this domino effect, and it just becomes a massive orgy, because this airplane, just the helicopter, makes that sound that gets, hey, that's a huge crocodile. It's time to have sex. Let's announce our presence. And that's what they do. And it's sex. It's wonderful.
I'm a native Floridian. I've seen a lot of big iguanas in my day. I think I saw the biggest iguana in my life at Zoo Miami over the weekend inside the chimpanzee enclosure.
Yeah.
I've gone there several times. I've seen snakes across the walkway. I'm curious what your approach is for some of these animals that reside in the zoo that aren't actually part of your exhibits, and what if your approach might differ for some invasive species.
Well, if we get an invasive species, if we trap them, they are removed from the property. If there are any universities or somebody doing studies on them, they're sent that way. Otherwise, they are euthanized. If they're invasive species and they're caught on different exhibits, things like iguanas, folks, they can be, conduits for disease. They produce a tremendous amount of feces. I mean, we've seen piles of feces on the walkway where somebody thinks that a freaking rhino has gotten loose, because that's how much they can excrete at one time. It's mind blowing. For the native animals, listen, I think it's a blessing. Every now and then you'll see a racer or a coach go across the walkway. People, listen, be lucky, man. You've just seen a wonderful piece of nature. The snake is just trying to get away from you. It's not going to hurt you. I tell people all the time, when you see wildlife, observe it from a distance, respect it. It wants nothing to do with you. Just leave it alone and enjoy it.
Ron, on Halloween, I am wondering which animal likes candy the most.
All animals like candy, though it's not good for any of them because it's sugar, man. Sugar is an addictive ingredient to anything. So anything with sugar, animals will eat it, and unfortunately, it usually makes them very sick if they get a hold of it.
Ron, going back to the story about the gorilla and the child, what is the most unusual reaction you have seen from an animal that should have been predatory or unkind and around a human being surprised you with the behavior?
Well, it wasn't necessarily around a human being, Dan. There was an incident with a lion in Samburu in Kenya that went to kill an antelope, and then the antelope's offspring was there, and it didn't eat the offspring. As a matter of fact, it just sat by it and kind of guarded it, and almost became like a maternal figure to it, walking around for days next to it like it was part of its pride, which was kind of a very unusual thing. As far as humans go, one of the things that really moved me, we have a chimpanzee here named Samantha. She's not very fond of a lot of people, but for whatever reason, she really likes me. She had gotten pretty sick. She's in her 50s now, and she had been anesthetized, and she was having trouble coming out of the anesthesia. The vet called me back there. She said, because for whatever reason, she really loves me. She hears my voice, and she gets excited. I think you've been out here, Dan. You've seen her react to me. And she wasn't coming out of anesthesia. So I went up to her and I said, Sammy, it's me. Hey, Sammy. And she heard me and she kind of, and she kind of woke up and was, I hate to use the word happy, but that's what it was. And it seemed to be kind of an inspiration for her to wake up and get better. And that kind of made me feel pretty good.
I'm going to show you this video of orangutan here, and you tell me if this orangutan is happy. What is happening here in this video? Is it a costume of some sort?
No, orangutans love to cover themselves in sheets. We'll sometimes even put T-shirts out on the exhibit, and they'll cover themselves in the T-shirt. He's just playing. It's just playing. You'd be surprised. There's a lot of parallels to the mentality of a 3 or 4 or 5-year-old. When you see what these orangutans, a lot of these great apes do, they are just absolutely entertaining themselves and playing.
Well, what is this animal doing with this windsurfer? Because there's a windsurfer minding his or her own business in the ocean, and then a whale breaches and totally...
It's the whale's ocean, though, Dan.
The whale's just being a whale.
Yeah. The whale is just
whaling.
The whale is not... That's an accident there, correct? Hitting the windsurfer?
Yes, I think that is certainly an accident. These whales do not really see above them unless it's something like a big boat or something like that. They breach, on a regular basis, and sometimes whales make the mistake of breaching in the wrong place. But it certainly was not a move of aggression.
That seems like something you can say, but that seems aggressive to me. It may have been an error, but getting hit by a flying whale
it's assault, buddy.
while you're windsurfing seems aggressive.
It's really a fluke, so to speak. It's like, if you're walking down a street and a brick falls off the building and falls on your head, is the building being aggressive to you?
Yes.
No,
yes. Ron, thank you for being on with us.
Guys, listen, for the rally, everybody gets one of these. The first 600 people Get this T-shirt, baby. Come get it. Come be part of a movement. Come be part of history.
There it
Saturday,
is.
November 4th, 10 a.m.
Saturday. Thank you, Ron. Good seeing you again.
Thank you. Take care.